Hello. So I am 2 weeks late for doing this. I apologize. I was gonna do it the first Sunday, and then it was right at the end of when I did the song a day challenge, and so I was like, let's give myself a break. And then last Sunday, oh my goodness, guys. So last Sunday, I realized at the beginning of the day, I was like, oh no, I'm traveling for work this week. And I not only had I not packed yet, but I hadn't done the laundry. Let me do the claps with it. I have not done the laundry that I needed to do in order to pack, because you gotta have clean clothes to pack. Anyway, so I was out of town this last week on a work trip. And I almost didn't record this today. You can tell probably that I'm a little tired, but I was like, no. You should record today, because what you don't want to have happen is to keep postponing it and then postpone it indefinitely. I think yeah. So I'm recording today, even though I'm a tad tired. And we'll just see how it goes. No, I did want to start this off by telling you guys something funny, because I was on the way home from my work trip, and I was sitting in an airport, and all of a sudden I heard like a drilling noise, and literally the first thing that popped into my head was, oh, the orchestra is tuning. Like, it didn't even click in my head that it was a drill. Like, it literally the first thing that popped into my head was the orchestra is tuning. And the reason for that, here, I'll play it for you guys. It's, ooh. So that noise, I was hearing that in like drill form in the airport, like, and like the first thought in my head was, of course, the orchestra is tuning, and meaning my brain was expecting other noises to come and be a part of that. So I just thought that was funny, because it just shows that I have such a music brain. So anyway, let's dive in, shall we? So it's kind of embarrassing, but I'm reaching a point. This is going to be episode 4 now. A lot of my songs are repeats, like songs that I just love and continue to listen to 4 months later. And I think I'm just one of those people that once I find something I like, I repeat it over and over and over again. So there are a few new songs on the playlist this month, but there's a lot of repeats, guys. And it's good for me, because it hopefully will make this a little bit shorter for you guys, and I won't be talking for an hour and a half every single time. But it's just funny. It's just funny to me. So starting off, number 1 is Warm by Ariana Grande. This was number 1 last month as well. Number 2 is Bliss by Tyla. This is a new single of hers, and I'm really loving Tyla's music. Whenever she puts something out, I listen to it, and it is definitely giving dance vibes. Like, I just love the fact that her music makes me want to move. What was funny is I went and watched the music video to this when it dropped, and I went and looked at the YouTube comments, and there were people saying things like, I don't know whether to laugh or to cry, because it's kind of like a sad song, but it's to like an upbeat dance beat. But one thing that I was like, oh no, don't do that, was they were kind of teasing Tyla a little bit, because she was acting a little bit in the video and was just trying to cry in the video. I don't know if she actually ever cried, but she was trying to like show she was crying in the music video, and there were people just like really making fun of her in the comments. And I felt bad because I definitely relate to Tyla in the fact that I see myself as like a whimsical goofball, and I think Tyla is the same way, where she is definitely a goofball as well. And so for us goofballs, if we ever try to be serious, people will sometimes like be like, are you really like looking for cracks in it, you know? So I feel like that's what people were doing to Tyla in the music video, where they were so used to seeing her like upbeat and goofy, that her being serious was just such a tone switch for them. But like, I feel bad for Tyla because I vividly remember, I think I was like 22 years old. I was playing like a coffee shop gig, and I was playing a bunch of my singer-songwriter songs, and a lot of them were very serious and very sad. And I had a bunch of friends in the audience, and they were laughing. Like, they were laughing as I was playing these songs. And I remember feeling so hurt because I so badly wanted to be taken seriously. So I hope Tyla isn't taking it hard that people are teasing her for this, because it's hard to be a goofball and someone that wants to make people laugh, but then you also have another side of yourself that's serious, and when you are serious you want people to take you seriously. So I feel for Tyla in that. But all I have to say, Bliss is just like a really fun song. I really like it. It was #1 on the playlist for a little while. If I had done this like a week or two ago, it would have been #1. But yeah, so that's been a good one. #3 is Like Jenny. It's another repeat. #4, Oscar Winning Tears by Ray. It's another repeat. And for those of you who are new, repeat means that it's been on previous on repeat pod playlists. I've already talked about them. Oh my goodness. Don't yawn, Amara, don't do that. Eternal Sunshine by Ariana Grande is another repeat. My Love by Leanne is another repeat. Baby Bluebird by Little Sailboat is another repeat. Revolving Door by Tate McRae is another repeat. Dose by Sierra is another repeat. Azam by Ed Sheeran is another repeat. The album's coming out soon. I'm very excited about that. End of Time, Beyonce is another repeat. And then coming in at #12 is something new. Why by John Bellion and Luke Combs. I think it's written by John. And John is someone who, if you look him up, he is behind a lot of like hit songs. And every now and then he comes out with his own music. And I came across this song because I've been surfing on YouTube a little bit more than I would like. YouTube is starting to feel a little bit like other social media sites, which doesn't feel great. And so I'm finding myself scrolling more on YouTube than I would like. But all that to say, I was scrolling on YouTube, and Meghan Trainor, the popular pop musician, she had put up like a short or a video of her and her sons. She's got 2 little boys with this song as like the background. And I remember watching that and hearing the song and going, oh my goodness, what is this song? I need to listen to this song. And finding out that it's by John and being like, okay, I know who this is. All Time Low was a big hit of his. And it's just a beautiful song. Like the heart, the message of it is why love, meaning like there's so much hurt and feeling when you love someone. Why love anybody at all? Like, it's just a beautiful message to the song. And both John and Meghan Trainor, the person who posted the video about this, like posted videos with their sons, and it was just a beautiful imagery of like, yeah, loving somebody does come with hurt, but there is a lot of beauty to it too. So if you haven't heard that song yet, it's and Luke Combs, I don't listen to a lot of country music, but boy does his voice really complement this song well. So definitely check that song out if you haven't had a chance yet. It's called Why. Number 13 is Fire, Alessia Cara. That's another repeat. Confetti by Tori Kelly is another repeat. Balloon by Tyler, the Creator, featuring Doechii is another repeat. Bluest Flame, Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco, it's another repeat. Ready to Love by JoJo is another repeat. Tishwala Bam is another repeat. Defying Gravity. Oh man, I was really hoping this one would get off the playlist, guys, because every time I hear it, it makes me cry. But it's still on here. Another repeat. Okay, so number 20 is new. It's new. Yay. Number 20 is new. It's Grave by Avery Anna. And I didn't know who this artist was. I have a friend who's a coworker who will send me like chats of songs to listen to. And this was a song he thought I would like. And so I listened to it and he was right, because I'm someone who just loves big ballads, and I love when people go more singer-songwriter, and this particular song, Grave, is just Avery, she sings it so beautifully, where she goes back and forth between kind of this rock vibe, and then during the bridge she goes more singer-songwriter, and she sings it very passionately. So I just love the passion behind the vocal, but then also just the construction of the song, that it goes back and forth between kind of rock and then singer-songwriter. And apparently I looked her up, and she went viral on TikTok a few years ago, and then got signed and has been making music ever since. So she's young, and she figured out a way to get in front of people. So good for her. I will say though, I like watching music videos, and I went to look up the music video, and it is like a trauma abuse storyline in the music video, and so I started to watch it and then I stopped because I really have a hard time watching stuff like that. So if you're someone who has a hard time with things like that, I wouldn't recommend watching the music video, but the song itself is just like a beautiful song. So number 21 is new, Where Have You Been by Kelly Clarkson. So I loved Kelly Clarkson's last album. It was technically her breakup album, her divorce album. What was the name of that? It was Kelly Clarkson. Ooh. So the name of that album was called, see, I'm used to looking at things on my phone, and now it's on my computer, so I'm struggling to find it. Albums. Oh, Chemistry, duh. So her last album was called Chemistry, and oh my goodness, I loved that album top to bottom. Just, she drew me in, and I think Lighthouse is my favorite song off of that album. But when I saw that she got nominated for a Grammy that year for that album, I was like, good for her, because I just loved this album. And it made me smile when I saw that Steve Martin was featured on the banjo on I Hate Love. That was a nice touch, so that was fun. But anyway, she released a new single, and I'm a big Kelly Clarkson fan, so of course I listened to it, and it's called Where Have You Been? And it was so funny. I follow her talk show on YouTube, and she did a little bit of advertising on the song and just talked about how it was inspired by the TV show Only Murders in the Building, which, oh my goodness, I'm so behind on so many things, guys. When that show first came out, I was like, you have to watch this show. And I never have. Like, I know it's a show I would enjoy, and I just have never gotten around to watching it. So now I need to, because of course Kelly Clarkson's a fan, so I need to look into it myself. Yeah, so she said that it was inspired by that show, and it was Martin's character that said to Meryl Streep's character, "Where have you been?" And Kelly Clarkson said that when she heard that, she was like, "Oh, that's like a grown thing to say. That's not like a teenage love kind of thing to say. That's like, you're grown and you've been through some stuff, and you're like, where have you been?" So I was like, "Oh, that's beautiful." And so I listened to the song, and it's kind of funny. It's right next to Grave because it has a similar feel where it's a bit of singer-songwriter and rock, which I love. Like I love like a solid rock song. And I love singer-songwriter, so it's just a beautiful mix there. So number 22 is new, Ping Pong by Chanel. So this might come out of left field for you guys because it's a Spanish song, and you're like, what's going on here? But I do really like listening to Spanish music. I don't speak Spanish. I wish I did. It's been on my list to learn Spanish for a really long time. But I love listening to Spanish music. And so Chanel is from Spain, and she actually competed in the Eurovision contest that happens. Google that if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's a big competition where a bunch of countries from all over the world, well, no, Eurovision, so I think it's just Europe. That would make more sense. So from all over Europe, different countries compete, and Chanel was representing Spain. And the reason I found out about it is because one of the choreographers that I follow and really like helped her and like choreographed her act for her. And so Ping Pong is off of one of her albums, but the first song I ever heard from her was Slow Mo, which is also on the playlist. It's a little bit further down this month, but there's like a Eurovision dance break in that song, and like sometimes I'm like trying to do it with the song. Anyway, so that's how I came across her, and for some reason I think that choreographer I was talking about must have posted something on YouTube, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. And I went and listened to her again. So 23 is Sapphire by Ed Sheeran. That's a new one. It's one of his latest singles for this upcoming album release, which I'm really excited about. Like I've really liked, so Old Phone is another single he's released. That's not on my on repeat, but it definitely is giving more singer-songwriter, which is something I've always appreciated about Ed, is he's able to really weave in and out of singer-songwriter and pop really, really well. And what seems to be happening in this album is he's collaborating with different people on different sounds. And so Sapphire is just a fun summer song, and when I heard it, I really liked it. So really looking forward to the album whenever it's gonna drop. Number 24 is Nobody by JoJo. So some of the other songs off this EP, NGL, not gonna lie, have already been on my on repeat playlist for a while. And I decided, I was like, oh, I need to go back and revisit that EP. So I did, and I'm glad I did, because Nobody is right at the beginning of the EP, and it's definitely a summer bop. Like, it's really fun to listen to in the car, and it's just gets my shoulders moving. So that's fun. 25 is also new, Drive and Disconnect by, I think it's Nao. So this is another one where that coworker I was telling you about chatted me this song. Well, no, actually he chatted me a different song by Nao, And I listened to it and I was like, okay, I like her sound, but I don't know about this particular song. And so then I went to her catalog and I came across Drive and Disconnect, and I was like, okay, I do like this song. So it's got a really fun mixture of different sounds. At one point, like the piano is just going off, and I always love like a fun instrumental part. So so yeah, that's one that ended up in my on repeat. 26 is Earthquake. That is a repeat. 27 is Admit It by Jordan Sparks. That's a repeat. 28, Needed You. That's a repeat. Millennium, though, I've started to listen to their latest single, and I think that's going to end up in my on repeat playlist next month because I've really been liking it. What's it called? I think it's called In Your Arms. Yeah, that's what it's called. So I think that's going to end up in my on repeat next month. 29, I've already talked about this one. So Slow Mo, that is the one I was talking about earlier. That showed up on my on repeat this month. And then lastly, Too Much to Say, number 30 by JoJo, is also a repeat. So, whew, I made it. Yay, made it all the way through. I hope that everybody's doing well, and I know there's a lot going on in the world right now, and so this was just kind of a fun distraction for me today. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing okay, and I will be doing another one of these in about a month. And let me know in the comments if you've been listening to the playlist, and let me know what you think. I'll make sure to link this playlist in the comments and the description so you guys can go look at it. So, all right, I'm very tired, so I'm gonna call it a day. So